Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead. In fact, welcome down into the basement. We're about 2 meters underground, underneath. We're underneath the workshop actually right now, part of the barn, and this is where we store all our food over winter. I've recently been guest tweeting for the Irish smallholders, and a lot of people expressed interest as to what was in all these jars and what's down here. So I thought I would do a video to explain that. You've seen 2 or 3 of the things. I've already made videos sort of showing how they're made, the lecho and the winter salad, peel gherkins, etc. But I thought I would go through most of what we got here and show you the sort of variety of foods which are preserved for winter. And of course that's on that side. On this side we've got all our vegetables, mostly root vegetables, that we're storing for winter as well. So I thought I would go through that and show how that works. So now, first of all, let's start with this side with the root vegetables and go over that, and then we'll look at the stuff in jars. So on this side we've got our root vegetables. They're stored in crates, as you can see, and I built this base last year to store the crates on. It's divided into 3 segments really, and I just used most of this wood on the bottom was lying around, and it would have been cut from trees that have been taken down locally. The base we did buy, it was preserved timber, but and then for the dividing segments I've just used birch trees, which again have been cut down from just around our garden. We have to store the vegetables over winter in here. People mostly think about carrots being left in the ground, but because temperatures here can go down to, well, in the past -25, -30, but certainly -15, they will actually freeze into the ground, and the ground is hard as rock and we can't get it out, so we have to lift them and store them in this basement. The temperatures down here are pretty constant. Like I said earlier, we're a couple of meters underground, and in here it stays about 5 degrees, something like that, which is about the same as outside today. But obviously when it's a lot cooler in the middle of winter, down here actually feels quite warm when we come down to collect something. So yeah, these plastic trays, which are stackable, are very popular over here in Latvia. You can buy them from all the DIY stores, and they're pretty inexpensive as well. I think 2 or 3 euros for a plastic tray, and also they last for years. So we have some parsnips which we've grown for the first time this year. Not so popular in Latvia, but obviously back in my home country, the UK, the parsnips are very popular, so we grew some this year. We've got obviously carrots, as I've mentioned. We've got some obviously potatoes, which are a real staple carb over here. We've got some beetroot, some turnips, some Swedes as well. And then what we do is we divide them between big ones and little ones, and the little ones we work through first, are eaten or they're used as animal food, and the bigger ones, most of what is stacked in this middle, is used for us to eat. And there's some purple potatoes as well there, I forgot about those. And then behind me here we've got apple juice. They're all pressed from our apples. There's a local guy in the village that presses the apples for us into juice, so we've got all that stored there. And that's pretty much on this side. So let's turn to the other side, and I'll go through the jars and see what we've got there, and take you through some of the things that we've preserved. And we also share the basement with a couple of bats that we call Rosie and Jim. There's bats in here actually most winters, and it varies between sort of 2 and 6. This year we've got 2. But yeah, they stay. We don't really know when and how they come in, or when and how they leave, but they do, and we're quite happy for them to be here, and they cause no trouble. Okay, so starting down here, we've got obviously Oma's famous pickled gherkins, which you can see a video of them being made. I'll put a link up in the corner. And we've got some blueberry jam. That looks like gooseberry jam. Yeah. These are mixed vegetables, so there are some gherkins, tomatoes, onions, pickled mixed vegetables. Very nice. That gives a very nice savoury flavour actually. Gives a different flavour to the gherkins as pickled gherkins just on their own. Mostly pickled gherkins there, I think, and vegetables. Up here we've got some jams. Let's have a look. We've got pear and cranberry. Got some pickled scapes, garlic scapes, some pickled dandelion heads. We've got some cranberries in honey and pickled cydonia. Cydonia is the Latin family name for quince, and quince, they're a bit different in England. They're bigger. Here they're smaller. These are Japanese quince, but give it a very distinctive taste when they're either pickled or dried. I think. Oh, and of course we've got our famous lecho as well. Again, there's a video of that being made. So lecho is tomato, pepper, carrot, and onion, and they're all lightly fried, and then the tomatoes are whizzed up, and then it's made into this kind of I don't know what you call it. We call it a salad, or Latvians call it a salad. I guess it's really nice with any sort of meat, or just as a sort of vegetable accompaniment, really. With I think that's pretty much it for down here. Let's go back and look on the shelf. Okay, so we've got two shelves, and there's some kind of order now. Most things are labelled. The labels are obviously the year, and they're also sometimes coded and sometimes coded in Latvian. So I have to translate the code, and then I have to translate from Latvian into English, which is always fun, as you can imagine. So more pickled cydonia, Japanese quince. This is our winter salad. So cabbage, carrot, onion, a little bit of tomato. They're not fried. That's just they're left to. They're all chopped up. They're put in a bowl for 3 days, and then they're canned, jarred. This is Uncle Albert salad, very similar to lecho, but again it's not fried, so it's a lot more crunchy when it's marinated. A lot more higher vinegar content as well in that, so it's quite punchy when you eat it. More pickled mixed salads, more gherkin in that one, chunkier vegetables. We've got this is the quince juice. So when the quinces are dried to make into candied peel, the juice obviously comes off, and then that's jarred, canned, and we can use that to have as a syrup for drink. More leche by the look of it. We've got some cabbage azapti, which is let me think. Marrow. It's a marrow jam. Zapta is an old Latvian word, which actually is the German word for jam. Marrow jam. Here we've got rhubarb jam. By the look of it. Oh no, that looks like more. Well, that front here is marrow. It looks like marrow jam. We did some marrow with lemon, which is quite an interesting flavour combination. it's a good way. People always struggle in England to do something with marrows, but it seems a great. It works really well actually. So what else have we got? Looking down here on the top, this is sliced onions by the look of it. Oh no, sorry, it's tomatoes, white tomatoes in their own juice. We've got tomatoes in their own juice. We've got tomatoes, homemade ketchup, pickled peppers. I've picked that up already. It's working through. More tomatoes, more tomato juice. Oh no, that's apple and brookines jam. Now, this is brookines is lingonberry, and apple and lingonberry jam is really popular as a side accompaniment to with potato pancakes, which are very popular here in Latvia. And lingonberries, apples come from the garden. Lingonberries we go and forage from the forest. So none of this has been bought. This is all from our own land or from the forest. We've got some preserved lingonberries there by the look of it, with some apple, so that's whole rather than a jam. Preserved fruit, sometimes called a compote. Preserved strawberries by the look of it. There are some tomatoes and onions which are in jelly. That's another way of preserving here. Now this is sliced gherkins, sliced cucumbers, and pickled with a little bit of onion. That's very nice indeed. Had some of that last night. More mixed vegetables, plums jarred, plum jam I should say really. There is, that's some ketchup that I made with orange tomatoes, roasted tomatoes actually. More Sidona juice. What else have we got here on the top? Mushrooms. So there's that would be chanterelle mushrooms, again foraged from the forest. That's pear and Sidoni jam. We've got some grape juice, some aronia juice, and I thought I saw some plums, compoted plums. Oh yeah, up there. So there's some whole plums which are compoted in their own juice. More brookines and apple. There's cranberry jam by the look of it there. That's grape. Looks like grape juice to me. Pickled peppers. Black currants, possibly. No label on that one. So you get the idea. There's raspberry jam. You get the idea of kind of melonese. There's melonese, which is blueberries jam. Okay, so that's the top shelf. Let's go and look at the bottom shelf. So we've got here, we've got some strawberries, apple jam, plum juice, grape juice, or is that called must? I'm not sure, but various juices, strawberries, pear and more of the Japanese quince, lots of juices, and these are, syrups, we would call these. So they would be, the juice is steamed off. Use a steamer to get the juice off the fruit and then mix with sugar to preserve it, and then we just drink that as a drink, possibly not till next summer. More juices, more jams, Kirsch, oh, cherry and raspberry jam. More of the sliced pickled gherkins. And the dog's just started barking upstairs. Not sure what's going on there. Excuse the interruption. Plum juice, pickled Japanese quince slices, and not sure what that is. More aronia juice, more grape juice, more tomatoes, jarred tomatoes. Not quite sure, that's a jam. Blue. Not sure, that could be mixed fruit, I think, actually. I'm looking at more salads. That's more the winter salad, mixed vegetables. I think that's pretty much it. And then down the bottom here are the older stuff which we need to work through. So there's jarred, lots of looks like blueberry jam, could be blackcurrant jam. Didn't have a great blackcurrant harvest this year, so not a lot of new blackcurrant stuff. So yeah, okay, so that's kind of gives quite a good indication of the variety of stuff that we pickle and jar and jam and blah blah and store, that so we can enjoy that stuff throughout the winter and take us through till next year when the cycle all starts again. And but yeah, so that's our basement, and now you have a pretty good idea of all the stuff that we've got, like I just said. So if you've got any questions, then please leave a comment or anything to say really, then I'm happy to answer. We're trying to bring you more of the recipes like we've done before, and so you can make these things at home. They're very easy to make. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Find us on Instagram, Baltic Homesteaders. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.